Good evening. My name is Kacper Paradowski and you are watching Poland Daily News. The US Embassy has published a list on its website consisting of 50 ambassadors serving in Poland whose intention is to defend the allegedly violated rights of LGBT people in our country. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs responded strongly to the letter. Unsurprisingly, the ambassadors' initiative was supported by Civic Platform leader Borys Budka. The letter was harshly criticized by Joachim Brudziński from the Law and Justice Party and Grzegorz Braun from the Confederation, among others. Although due to epidemiological circumstances, the 2020 Warsaw Equality Parade could not take place at the foreseen date, we express our support for the efforts to raise public awareness of issues affecting the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender and intersex community and other communities in Poland facing similar challenges. Human rights are not an ideology, they are universal. 50 ambassadors and representatives agree. Every human being enjoys equal levels of protection under the Polish law. No one should be discriminated against in political, social or economic life for any reason whatsoever. We fully agree with this message of today's open letter by ambassadors accredited in Warsaw. We also positively assess the fact that the open letter does not repeat fake news about alleged LGBT-free zones that do not exist in Poland. Human rights are not an ideology. The strong, unambiguous voice of 50 ambassadors, including the US ambassador. This is how Kaczynski squandered the legacy of solidarity in the 1980s and the transformation of the Round Table. From the country of the model of civil liberties, we have become a country where censorship rules. Please do not push things like this on us Poles, because, thank God, we still stand firmly on the standards of civilization, which to you, ladies and gentlemen, your excellencies, are completely foreign.
Państwu czcigodni ekscelencje są najwyraźniej zupełnie obce.
Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki spoke out today in response to the letter written by several dozen ambassadors to Poland with regards to the alleged lack of tolerance towards the LGBT community in Poland. The head of government added that Poland is not a country that needs to be taught tolerance.
All I can say to my dear ambassadors is that tolerance is rooted in Polish DNA. It is enough to follow history to find out about it. Nobody has to teach us tolerance because we are a nation that has learned such tolerance over the centuries and we have given many testimonies of our tolerance in history. I agree with the ambassador's letter in the part when they said that respect is due to every person. However, I completely disagree with the letter of the ambassadors in the respect when they said that there are people in Poland from whom such respect is in any way taken away.
Z listę ambasadorów w tym miejscu, gdzie mówią, że w Polsce są osoby, którym taki szacunek jest w jakikolwiek sposób odbierany.
I have a personal request to all 50 ambassadors. I would like you to see and acknowledge the provocation of one gentleman who drove around with a plaque that no one has ever produced and no one has ever intended to produce, with an LGBT-free zones writing on it. He drove with this plaque in some Polish towns, took pictures, and he completely falsified reality. To call something like that fake news is definitely not enough.
To zdecydowanie za mało powiedzieć.
The Ministry of Health informed today of 1,300 new coronavirus infections. According to the ministry, the rise in infections can be expected to continue until the half of October.
Teraz będziemy raczej mieli tutaj wymianę.
In the coming days, the numbers will fluctuate between provinces. Let me emphasize, this situation will surely stay the same in the next few days. We must be ready for these numbers. We will not be blocking the virus across the entire country. We will deal with it where it spreads the most. Hence, we have the division of yellow and red provinces.
Duże zagrożenie w tych powiatach.
Chcemy zapewnić przede wszystkim
First and foremost, we want to make sure that everyone can have access to proper treatment. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, we do not want for our country's economy to experience another crisis, commonly referred to as a lockdown, similar to what we experienced several months ago. It wasn't only us, almost the entire world went into lockdown. However, this resulted in the slowing down of the spreading of the virus, a recession, and this brought other types of tragedies, other consequences. Nothing comes for free. In this case, we can't put a price on the protection of human lives.
Życia ludzkiego jest wartością bezcenną.
In addition to tomorrow's Biden-Trump debate, one of the most exciting current events in American politics is the nomination of Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court, who is to replace the recently deceased Judge Ruth Bader Ginsburg, known for her radical left-wing views. However, the nomination of Barrett, a Catholic who is committed to defending the lives of the unborn, is opposed by the Democrats.
In the United States, the issue of nominating another judge to the US Supreme Court and approving them shortly before the US presidential election has recently raised numerous controversies. However, despite the opposition of the Democratic Party, the Republicans in the Senate plan to increase the conservative advantage in the Supreme Court. The vacancy after the recently deceased liberal judge Ruth Bader Ginsburg, appointed by President Bill Clinton in 1993, is to be replaced by Amy Coney Barrett, a judge of the American Court of Appeal known for her conservative Christian beliefs. From the very beginning, the leader of the Republican majority in the Senate, Mitch McConnell, announced that the upper house of Congress would vote to approve President Donald Trump's candidate before the November presidential election. Donald Trump and the Republicans are accused of hypocrisy by the Democrats of trying to fill a vacancy in the Supreme Court shortly before the presidential election. The Republicans did not agree to approve President Barack Obama's candidate in 2016 during the presidential campaign. However, these are two completely different situations, and it is an absolute norm in American politics for the American president to nominate his candidate for the Supreme Court also in an election year. Such was the case 29 times, and each time a vacancy in the Supreme Court was vacant during the election year. All presidents indicated their candidates to fill it. Demonized by the American left, President Donald Trump once again has to explain that by appointing his judge to the United States Supreme Court, he is only fulfilling his constitutional duty.
Dla telewizji Republika mówił Tomasz Winiarski.
That's all for tonight. Thank you for watching. Stay with us for Poland Daily Business. Good night.